All right, YouTube, welcome back to another video. The long awaited and anticipated Pixel Fold unboxing. It is finally here. Man, it seems like forever ago that I ordered this thing, did the pre-order, so I should have a Pixel watch in here as well, which I have zero experience with, so that'll be fun. So let's get this thing cracked open. I know there are other videos out there right now, but who cares? This is the one that's important, right? So guys, go ahead, hit that subscribe button. Add your comments below. Let me know what you're gonna be picking up, if you're gonna be picking up the Pixel Fold. So there is the Pixel Watch. I opted for the black version here. I don't remember if I got the LTE one or not, or maybe it's just the Bluetooth, but I'll have to figure that out. We'll put that to the side for now. Let's see what else we got in the box. Of course, we have the Pixel Fold. So, first impressions video. So we got the box here. It's not the biggest box, especially if you guys are used to the other unboxings of the Chinese phones that I have reviewed on this channel. You usually get a bigger presentation with a lot more accessories and things involved, so I'm not really expecting many accessories to be in this box, but let's see what we do get. So I'm going to put this to the side. Maybe I'll do another video for the watch itself, but let's get this thing opened up. Man, finally here. I am not like the other big channels where they got it like a week early. They've already mastered it. So here we go. We got the device. Oh, got some heft. That's the first thing I noticed. There's some heft to the device itself. Let's see what we get in the box. Probably not much. Let's see here. So just some instructions there. Let's see what else is in the box here. So we got our little pamphlet. Put that off to the side. So we do get a charging cable and a dongle. USB to USB-C dongle, which Google is known for, but no charging brick. All right, here we go, Pixel Fold. My first thought is very premium as far as the build, the way it feels in the hand right now. Matte black shouldn't give me too many fingerprints aside from the hinge, which is definitely going to pick up some fingerprints there. So let's take a look around the device. We've got our front-facing camera there. On the bottom, we have some microphones, speaker grill, USB-C charging port, more mics, and the SIM card slot there. As you can see, this is folded flush, unlike a Z Fold. Here we got the hinge on the top. Another microphone, that's the antenna there, and a speaker grill. So on the side, we've got our volume up and down rocker and a power button that I believe doubles as a fingerprint reader. On the back, we got just a little bit of badging there. And we've got our camera set up. Not bad. So let's open it up. All right, so we've got our crease in the middle. Not too bad, but when you open it up, there is a little, well, it doesn't open up all the way. It doesn't fold open flat, but I don't think that'll bother me as much. We'll see as time goes on. We've got a little camera up top here in the bezel. Bezel is not really gonna bother me. As you guys know, or if you follow me, I've had several videos on the Surface Duo, and I'm expecting this to be similar to that device. And I will say that the build quality right now is definitely on par there, nice and thin. And let's see if we got any juice. So it's loading up for us. Let's take a look on the outer display, which is one of the things that had me drawn to this device, to have a wider aspect ratio for your outer display on the folding device. All right, so what I'll do is get my information loaded, play around with it for a few minutes, and give you guys some first impressions. Hang tight. All right, guys, so I got my information loaded up. I started this as a new device, and first thing I've noticed is the haptics are really, really good. And that is definitely a good sign going forward, because Pixel phones, and particularly my Pixel 4 XL, had great haptics, and I'm glad to see that Google has continued that with this device. So a few other observations, and this is definitely not going to be a full review because I've only been playing around with this phone for a few minutes. But something else I noticed is that the software in here, it's, I won't say it's limited, but it is definitely different from Samsung's approach. So the software reminds me of the software on the Surface Duo, and the way that the device kind of looks at the inner display as two separate screens. So basically, picture this as a partition here, like you have two separate monitors, and you can't really span across this divider here, this partition. So it kind of looks at the device as two separate screens. That could be a good thing, that could be a bad thing, depending on who you are. I don't mind it because I did like the way the software functioned on the Surface Duo. So for Duo fans, that's probably a great thing. So for example, if you are, let's see here, if we are looking at, and we'll just go to Instagram, which is definitely not optimized yet, as you can see. Like I can double tap here to move it to the right, or double tap to the left. But either way, it's not in, it's taking advantage of the full display just yet. Hopefully the software will fix that. But if you swipe up just a little bit here to get to your taskbar, you can then add another app here. So I'll just go in and let's see, we'll add Twitter. So I'll hold Twitter, I'll drag it over, and it's just going to basically have two apps running simultaneously. You can't add like a third one or whatnot just yet. If you rotate, so if I rotate this thing to portrait mode, you can see here that it kind of stays partitioned, but that partition doesn't move. So if I try to, let's see, if I try to add Facebook, see, it's only going to let me add it horizontally and not vertically. So the software is kind of, maybe that's how Google intended it. So Samsung, you can kind of move these around as you see fit. But here we can tell that they designed this thinking that most people are going to hold it, I guess you can call this horizontal mode, instead of turning it to portrait mode, if that makes sense. So for multitasking, you can have two apps running at the same time. I don't see where there can be like a floating window or whatnot. Maybe some third-party software can do that as well, but just keep that in mind. So when you're setting this device up, for example, here on your main screen, every time you scroll over, that is a separate screen. And that's how the device is going to function when you open it up. It's going to look at these as separate screens. All right, so I can't span this across two screens. It's just going to go to one or the other. So that's an observation I've made. The speaker placement, that's the next observation. It's really placed to keep it in this horizontal mode. So we got a speaker here at the bottom, and we have one here at the top. So if you are inclined to have your phone in portrait mode, then that could hinder one of the speakers. So if I hold it this way, I'm kind of blocking this speaker. If I turn it and hold it this way with the camera on the outside here, then I'm kind of blocking the speaker here on this side. So they really want you to hold it this way. Is that a big deal? Probably not, but you guys let me know in the comments. So those are some of the things I've already noticed that's different from, you know, like the Z Fold. Obviously, this outer screen is different from the Z Fold's outer screen, and that's probably why a lot of people would opt to get this device, because you do get, to me, a more usable or better experience on your outside display. But you also sacrifice some things in the software. Another thing, you still can't move this Google search bar at the bottom. It just can't be placed somewhere else, and that's kind of a bummer. I was hoping that this would be a little bit more customizable, but it's not as customizable as a Z Fold, and that's kind of, you know, what I'm noticing so far. And the last thing I'll kind of mention right now is the lack of stylus. So most, I can't even say most, a couple of the newer devices have stylus support. Obviously, Samsung has the S Pen, so a little disappointing that the Fold doesn't have an option for an S Pen or stylus-like device to help take advantage of this beautiful canvas, because the screens are beautiful on here. It would be nice to have some sort of stylus support, and then you could really use this outside display, because to me it's large enough to use stylus support on the outside display as well. Maybe Google will do that on the next iteration, but for now it is missing. But outside of that, the build quality is great. The crease kind of disappears as I've been using it for a few minutes, kind of like the Z Fold experience. The apps seem to be functioning well, so I'm definitely going to try out a lot of the different apps just to see how well they function, see how well the games play on here. But so far, not bad. I'm not blown away just yet. I'm still excited about opening up the Pixel Watch, pairing it together to see how that functions. So you guys hit me up in the comments of things that you'd like me to try out on this device. And we have a lot more to come. So stay tuned, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And until the next one, peace.